you friends, it's Nurse Susan, and I've got another fun cooking activity that we can do today. I think that you guys are reading the book The Gruffalo today, or this week. And I remember from reading the book how they talk about how the mouse and the Gruffalo eat a Gruffalo crumble. So we are going to do a Gruffalo crumble muffin that I'm going to show you how to make today. So I've already washed my hands and I've got my ingredients already all measured, but I'll tell you, first of all, I'm going to post the recipe on the website so you guys will be able to see it. But it has some grated apple, some maple syrup, a little bit of vegetable oil, vanilla, 3 eggs. You can see I got 3 eggs right in there. It has oats and flour and baking powder. That's part of the muffin. And then it's going to have a little crumble on top that's got butter and flour and oats and some more maple syrup. So we're going to mix it up real quick. I'll show you how to mix it up. And then we'll put the crumble on top and we'll put them in the oven to bake. So I'm going to start by mixing some of the ingredients that are more liquid. So we're going to put the eggs into the bowl. And we'll add our vegetable oil. Sometimes people might use coconut oil, but since we don't usually have coconut at the EEU, I'm using vegetable oil instead. We're going to add our vanilla and our maple syrup. So I think I had those backwards. It was the maple syrup first and now the vanilla. And I'm going to use my whisk. You guys might have a whisk at home. I know we use them at the EEU. And we're going to mix everything up with our whisk. Get it all so that all the egg yolks are mixed in. There we go. That looks pretty good. And then we're going to add our grated apple. All those little pieces of apple in there. Okay. And we're going to mix that up real quick. Then we're going to add all the dry ingredients. So that'll be our flour and our oats and our baking powder. And I'm going to switch, I think, now and use a spoon instead of my whisk anymore, just so that I can get through all that oats. So I'm going to mix, 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 and stir it up with my spoon. And this is something that you guys can do. There we go. So all that dry stuff is getting mixed up with all the eggs and the oil. Okay. See, if you look inside there, you can see that all the flour is mixed up with the liquid ingredients. So it is ready to pour into our muffin mix, or muffin liners. I've got my pan all ready with some liners in it, and I've got my oven warming up. So I'm going to use my spoon to pour a little bit of the batter into each of our cups. Okay. I'm going to start out with just a couple, and then I'll show you how we make the crumble and put it on the top. I'm going to set this aside for just a minute while I show you how to make the crumble. This is kind of fun because this one's where we really get to play with our food. But we're going to add our flour into the bowl. And we're going to add a little bit of oats. And our maple syrup. And some butter that's not melted. It's just kind of a little bit cold. And then you can take your hands and you're going to make a crumble out of all of that. So you can just get in there and mix everything up. It gets butter and flour all over your hands. but it'll go right on top of the muffin mix. Kind of a little bit messy, so you want to make sure you've got a towel under you and you make it so that it's super duper crumbly. Sometimes you can make it into a little ball with your hand and just keep squishing it up till it makes little crumbles. There we go. That's getting pretty crumbly. And then I'm going to take my crumble and I'm going to put it right on top of my muffin mix, just like this. There we go. I'll do a couple of those. So I'm going to finish portioning out all of my batter and then topping it with the crumble mix. Then I'll put it in the oven, and when it comes out, I'll show you what they look like. All right, see you in a couple minutes. There's my timer. I think our muffins are ready. I'm going to take them out of the oven. First, I'm going to check and make sure that they're all the way done, and I use a little toothpick, and I just poke it into the muffin and pull it out, and just make sure there's no crumbs on my muffin, and that usually tells me, or on my toothpick, that usually tells me the muffins are done. So I'm going to take them out. I've got my Gruffalo Crumble muffins, and what I'm going to do to make these real Gruffalo muffins is I'm going to put some little eyes I made out of dried mangoes and blueberries and put them right on top of the muffin. There's one. There we go. There is a Gruffalo muffin that you can eat later on. Hope you guys have a chance to try it. I'll make sure that we put the recipe up on the website. See you later. Enjoy reading the Gruffalo.